Welcome back to the Barrel Zone Wednesday morning edition. We had a busy day yesterday. 8 official bets went 6-2. Uh, Pretty nice run this last 1.5 2 months. So yeah, we are grinding on. If you wanna sign up, you can go to patreon.com/slash the barrel zone and join the Discord channel. Today's card is pretty bad, both in the NBA and the MLB. I don't have any official bets so far. Although I'm looking at a few games, we will break down everything as always. Let's start with NBA. Washington Wizards at the Atlanta Hawks, 6.5 point spread. This is an interesting one. A rematch of a game that was played 2 days ago. The Hawks won 125 to 124, and that spread closed Hawks -8, -110 on Pinnacle. So basically almost a 1.5, 8.5. And the injury list is pretty similar to this one. They did have Hunter available there, but only played 40 minutes and scored 6 points. So he really isn't a factor. And now Hunter is out, and we are getting a 6.5, basically a 7. I don't think he matters at all. If you go to Bet Online, you can still bet Hawks -6s if you want. I didn't get involved with this game. Obviously, Beal's still out for the Wizards, but I think they have been playing way better recently. And I don't think at this point in the season there is this much difference between these two squads. So I personally didn't agree with the closer at 8, but if you believe that that was an efficient number, then you should get on this 6 ASAP, as this will likely go away, and I think we will close again at least at 7.5. All right, next game: San Antonio Spurs, Brooklyn Nets, 4.5 point spread. Brooklyn home favorite. I would make this 5 normally, but we have some news for Brooklyn. They are on a back-to-back. First and foremost, I factored that in already with the 5. Everyone played 33 minutes or less. Kyrie got hit in the face by an elbow, and the first concussion test wasn't conclusive, so further tests will be made, but he may have to go into the concussion protocol. That would be pretty bad. On the other end, Harden got upgraded to questionable for this game. We don't know if he will play or not. But I'm around. My number is around 5. If either Harden or Kyrie plays, it looks like Harden will give it a go. I would expect he's on minutes restrictions. We don't know how serious those are. He might be playing just 15 minutes or so. We've seen KD getting slowly eased back into action, and Harden missed kind of a lot of time himself as well. I don't think we will see Kyrie here. Spurs, on the other end, they are 2.5 games up on the Pels, 2.5 games behind the 9th seed. So basically, they are almost logged in. They should be logged into the 10th seed pretty soon. They are playing okay right now, but I don't think you can say anything about this game. I think this -5-ish with Brooklyn is fine. If we see anyone else besides KD, if it's only KD, I think like Brooklyn -2 is a fair number, around something around -2. I would still probably lean towards Brooklyn then, but I think the Spurs are playing okay, and they had waivers stretches then. They played waivers basketball at some points in the season than they do right now. Boston Celtics at the Cleveland Cavaliers, 9.5 point spread. Boston is not a good team, and they are laying 9.5 points on the road without Brown. Yeah, it's insane. And they're also playing their third game in 4 nights and the back-to-back. And Tatum played 39 minutes last night. Kemba 38, Fournier 36. I mean, yeah, that's how bad Cleveland is. Cleveland lost 11 straight games. Garland Nance out, 5-6 backups missing. This is also a third game in 4 nights for them. I wouldn't touch this game. You don't want this. Cleveland is really tanking right now, but Boston, I mean, them laying almost 10 points on the road on a back-to-back, it's not good. New Orleans at Dallas, 10.5 point spread. Again, what is up with these spreads? Dallas playing third game in 4 nights and the back-to-back. Likely no Porzingis, and Redick is likely out. He got injured last night. So yeah, but the Pelicans without Zion, without Ingram, Hart obviously, and Adams is questionable. So it's not a team in this form that you can back, in my opinion. But I think this 10 is a bit too much. I'm not really high on the Mavs at all. And they shouldn't be laying 10.5 points here. I think this is like my fully healthy line would be like Mavs -2 here on the back-to-back for them if everyone was playing for both teams. So yeah, I think this is just 7.5 point correction, 8.5. Sorry, almost 9 now that it's leaning towards 11. That's just off. Portland at Utah. This is the game I'm looking to back Portland here. I've released this on softbooks. We had a 4. Now it's only 3.5, and it's quite juiced. This is probably close to my cutoff. I would maybe play it for a smaller bet, but the Blazers are playing good basketball right now. Conley and Mitchell still out for Utah. Mitchell has already been ruled out for the rest of the regular season, so they will only start easing him back into action, likely during the first round of the playoffs. Blazers are playing good basketball, and I think what you need to focus on is the defensive side of the ball. The offense has always been clicking for most of the season. They are third in points per possession through the entire season. They are first in the last 2 weeks, but defensively they are 12 in point per possession. And through the season, they are 29th. This has been consistently a bottom 2 to bottom 3 defense. And now you see the effort. They aren't turning the ball over. That's huge. Strong free throw rates, strong defensive rebounding. The defensive rebounding numbers have been improving amazingly. So yeah, I haven't been upgrading Portland as they faced a really easy competition in the last 2 weeks. They went 7-1 in the last 2 weeks, but most of these games were pretty easy. But they outperformed their closing spreads by 9 points on average, and I just cannot overlook the defensive and the rebounding improvements, and the fact that Utah is missing their two best offensive pieces. Yeah, Conley's play this year is what's really the difference compared to last year, and he has been really helping them a lot. And obviously, Mitchell is the best player. I don't think you can argue that. So yeah, at this point in the season, with these injuries for the Jazz, I don't think there is too much difference between these two teams. So yeah, 3.5. -115, that would be my cutoff, but I would still play this for maybe 0.75 units or something like that. Not a full bet for me. I would need a 4 for a full bet, but the Blazers are my lean. Houston at the LA Lakers, 13.5 point spread. We are not going to break this game down. Wall, Porter, Gordon, Woodhouse, everyone basically either questionable or out for Houston. I don't think they will play. Lakers got the W last night, but Davis got really banged up. The Knicks were really, really, really putting it on him. So he's uncertain for tonight's game. LeBron is targeting to return today. We will see, but I mean, it's not, the Lakers aren't playing as good basketball right now that you should lay double digits with them, and the Rockets are tanking. So, yeah, final week of the regular season is just trash, and we had a couple of nice games last night, but I don't think we will see too many good games today. Maybe the Brooklyn one will be fun, and I think Portland could probably win this one outright. So yeah, Portland is my only look. I think you can also bet a money line. I think the spread won't matter. If they win, they will win outright. But yeah, that's about it. Maybe follow the Brooklyn news with the injuries. I think if you get a super cheap money line, if both Harden and Kyrie are out, that's another look that I would probably go for. But yeah, I think it's just Portland for me. All right, let's switch to MLB. So yeah, pretty ugly slate. I start a few games that are the better ones and where I see some value or I'm possibly expecting some value. So we will focus on those. New York Mets hosting the Baltimore Orioles. Harvey at Walker. Walker minus 173. A lot of respect for this guy. I think Walker is fine, but his Sierra is 2 runs higher than his ERA. He has an 11% walk rate, super high line drive rates against both sides of the plate. He's limiting hard contact and has okay contact rates, missing some bats. Strong bullpen behind him obviously helps. But to me, he's not like this minus 180 type of pitcher. But Matt Harvey is on the other end is bad. 7% swinging strike rate, 84% contact rate, velocity down, strong line drive rates against righties. But the problem is that the Mets don't have any power. Wind is blowing in 11 miles per hour expected by game time. This is a pitcher stadium. You see 7.5 total. I think maybe even Harvey can pitch all right. So yeah, it will be a low scoring game, two bad offenses, and yeah, laying minus 180 is a big no no in such a spot in my opinion. Cincinnati at Pittsburgh, Sonny Gray, Trevor Cahill. Sonny Gray with a 7 inning outing against the White Sox. I think he is fully in season shape. 34% K rate, 12.6% swinging strike rate, ground ball rate almost 50%, barely giving up hard contact, just 22.9%, hard contact rate in generally just 69%. Pirates with an 86 WRC plus against right-handed pitching and a 118 ISO. Key bats missing from the Pirates lineup. Cincinnati is a really strong look, but they are heavily overpriced because of this. Cahill is an interesting arm. He's coming off a relatively nice outing against the Cubs. Only gave up 2 earned runs in 5 innings. His Sierra is almost 3 full runs lower than his ERA, but I'm still not in love with everything I see. 8.9% swinging strike rate, 80% contact rate. His velocity is down from last year. Lefties are really getting to him, but he got super unlucky so far. 53% left on base rate, 360 batting average on balls in play. He's overall a nice arm with a high ground ball rate, 55%. That's 62% against righties. Line drives rates and hard hit rates are super low. So basically, he's not missing as many bats as I would like. There are some signs that regression, I think, is coming to him. Despite what his ERA to Sierra ratio says. But I mean, him keeping the ball on the ground, staying off the barrels, not giving up line drives could help. I think the under is an okay look here. 7.5 is fair. It's not too juiced. That would be my look. I wouldn't be laying this minus 150 with the Reds. Cubs at Cleveland. Zach Davies, Hedges only pitched, I think, one outing or maybe two so far. We don't have too much data on him, and he was supposed to start a few days ago, but that game got rained out. So it's a tricky spot with him. He hasn't pitched in a few days. He could be all right. 3.8 Sierra so far, 46% ground ball rate, but only a 6.6% swinging strike rate, and he has an 85% contact rate so far. And he's kind of forecasted to be like a 5+ ERA guy, so I'm not getting my hopes up. But Zach Davies for the Cubs, I think, one of the worst pitchers in the league. He is likely not going to be in the league next year. He has a 6-ish ERA, and the Sierra is also there, just a 12% K rate to go with a 13% walk rate. Contact rate at 84%. Lefties are really getting to him. He has a 450 WOBA on the road. Total is, 8. It was 8.5. It came down a bit. But I really just couldn't back either side here. I have questions. Around Henges, and I know Davis is bad, but this Cleveland offense is not something that will will scare you. So yeah, I'm skipping this game. San Diego, Colorado. This is a doubleheader. I'm never backing doubleheader, so we are skipping that one. This is an interesting game now. Finally, Philly at Washington. Zach Wheeler, John Lester. This would be my lock of the day. So yeah, Philly. I think this will be should be an easy W for them. John Lester is a guy I have been fading for years. His Sierra is now 2.5 runs higher than his ERA. His K rate is at 14.6%, almost a 10% walk rate. He has an 81% overall contact rate, fastball velocity under 89 miles per hour now. Line drive rates super high, 37% against righties. This guy is giving up 37% line drives against righties. Not striking out anyone. I think Leicester is really bad, and Philly should get to him. Wheeler of a 9 inning outing against Milwaukee, 8 Ks. Everything I look at, I really like in his profile. High infield pop-up rate, no hard contact, 3.3 feet or better against both sides, averaging almost 7 innings. Nationals against right-handed pitchers with just an 83 WRC plus. And the 130 ISO. I would need a bit better line, but Pinnacle moving towards Philly, I think, is telling. I think this will get to like 145, 148, maybe 150 even. If it doesn't, I think the Philly is a bit interesting. I would need like a minus 130 to get involved. That's close to my line. But I understand why Philly is quote unquote overpriced here, as they really set up well against Leicester, and Leicester will regress, and this could get really ugly. KC at Detroit, another game that's very interesting. This is off the board right now. I'm expecting KC to open up as a sizable favorite, like at least minus 130, but possibly even minus 140. Casey lost now 9 games in a row, I think. I said like 10 days ago that I would be fading them a bit, as they have been outperforming their underlying metrics pretty heavily. And since then, they were just losing. So, yeah, now there might be some value on them. Duffy is an arm I really, really like. He has a 3.5 Sierra, 28% K rate, 14% swinging strike rate, no hard contact, high infield fly ball rate, super balanced and good stats against both sides. He got a bit lucky, 88% left on base rate, less than a 5% home run to fly ball ratio, but the skills are there. And the Tigers against lefties this year, they are just bad. Tigers with a 36 WRC plus. That's not a typo. 36 WRC plus against lefties with a 35% K rate and the 0.05 ISO. They already have like a minus 60 something base runs differential. The Tigers aren't good. They had a few better games here and there, but I'm still fading them. Casey at least almost an average offense. And Mize, he's coming off a 6 inning outing against Boston with only 1 earned runs allowed, but I wasn't impressed. I watched that game. Velocity was way down. Swinging strike rate generally is low for him. Almost a 10% walk rate. He is walking guys. He's walked 4 against Boston. Contact rate still above 80%. Detroit also has the worst bullpen, the worst offense, of course. So I think this may be a buy low on KC with Duffy. If we get like a minus 133 or better, I will be on KC. Hopefully, the 9 losses in the row and Mize being good in the last outing will give us some value here. Oakland at Boston. We have a debut on the Oakland side, James Caprillion. I might butcher this name. So he's looking like an okay guy. In 2019, he was pitching in AA, AAA, pitched kind of well. He projects like a 4.5 ERA guy. He had a nice outing in AAA very recently before he got called up. Boston is a team I will be fading a bit. They are on the top of most advanced offensive rankings, but they have faced some really easy outs. They played like 9 games against the Orioles. They faced Seattle, Detroit, Texas, all the bad pitchers, and I think they are a nice offense, but not that good, and there will be value in fading them. And Erod is a nice arm, 3.5 Sierra. Everything about him is looking nice. 28% hard hit rate. Missing some bats, not walking too many. But Oakland is a good offense against lefties. I'm not high on Oakland either. They have a negative run differential, and they are still leading the AL West. It's pretty funny. But I think Caprillion, based on what I could gather, looks like an okay arm, and Oakland is uh, as a right-handed heavy team that's strong against lefties. They have over a 200 ISO and the 118 WRC plus. I think this is a nice matchup for them, and we could maybe even get like a plus 150. That would be likely my entry point for Oakland. I'm expecting something around between minus 138 and minus 144, 47 maybe. I wouldn't touch it there, but if we get an outrageous price with Oakland, I will be on the dock here. New York Yankees at the Tampa Bay Rays. Garrett Cole, amazing arm, but always overpriced, and this could be a spot to maybe fade him if you have the balls to do that. We will get Yarbrough here for the Rays. He was supposed to go, I think, yesterday, but they flipped with Fleming. So Yarbrough will pitch after McHugh. He's still a guy that will regress positively. Got super unlucky so far. Yarbrough, I mean, limits hard contact, doesn't walk anyone. I really like him, and it's really difficult to pitch anyone against the Yankees. But I think he's a legit arm and could be a bit of a buy low. I'm not extremely high on him, but if we get like plus 200 or something, I would be interested. I think we will see something around minus 180 on the Yankees, and the buyback on the Rays won't be worth it with the juice. The under could be another look. This is a game where I'm looking at the under as well. Maybe because of the Rays having a bullpen game, we bullpen-ish game, and yeah, McHugh not being amazing. We might get a total that's not like 6.5 or 7, but I don't think we will. But yeah, we will see how they open this one. Toronto at Atlanta, Ryu at 3. The Ryu slide road favorite total is at 8. I really like both arms, but both are coming off the IL. They had, I think, 1 or 2 starts, and Fried only went 72 pitches in the last outing, and Ryu was hit hard in the second outing. I think he had of the IL against Oakland. Just as I mentioned, they are pretty good against lefties. So I'm not trusting either guy with my money here, and I think the total is kind of right at 8. So normally, if both would be fully healthy and fully stretched out and in a good spot, I think this would be 7.5, maybe even 7, with the bats missing from these teams right now. So yeah, there might be some value on the under at 8, but it's a gamble for sure. So I'm not touching it. I trust both arms normally, but I do have questions and want to see them pitch another game or two before I start backing them again. St. Louis at Milwaukee, Gant at Woodruff. Woodruff minus 170. Milwaukee is a bad offense, and they are missing their best bats, and they are still laying minus 170. That tells you a lot. Woodruff has been amazing. Sierra under 3, 29% hard contact, super low line drive rates, not walking anyone. Cardinals, a bit better offense than Milwaukee, but still nothing special. And John Gant is bad. He has a 6 Sierra, 17% walk rate, in 29 innings. Swinging strike rate below league average, K rate below league average, fastball velocity down. He got super lucky, 85% left on base rate, 4.5% home run to fly ball ratio. He's keeping the ball on the ground. That's helping him a lot. 63% ground ball rate against righties with just 19% line drive rate. And this is an easy out Milwaukee's offense, but Gant is super bad, and I think that's really factored in here. My line here is minus 160. So I think what we see on the board is kind of fair. Minnesota at the White Sox, Happ at Keuchel, two arms that I don't really like. Keuchel is an arm that's difficult to hurt. He has a 59% ground ball rate, almost a 20% infield pop-up rate, 63% ground ball rate against righties. Um, but he's really the master of soft contact and getting easy outs, but he's not missing any bats, and it's kind of really worse than ever. 82% hard contact, walk rate at almost 10%. It always feels like with him that he's a ticking time bomb, but he mostly makes it work. But the Twins are really a positive regression candidate offensively. As I said yesterday, I'm not going to trust Keuchel against him. And Happ has been, similarly to Zach Davies, one of these trashy old pitchers who shouldn't be in the league. He has an 85% contact rate, almost a 50% fly ball rate, K rate at only 14.7%, 6.8% swinging strike rate. He got super lucky again, 170 BABIP, 5% home run fly ball ratio, 86% left on base rate. This total is yeah, I think the over could be a look here. Honestly, I think Happ will get hit. Keuchel might get hit. I really believe in the Twins offense. So the total was 8, and it's 8.5 already on Pinnacle, but you can still find 8s. I think if anything, that Pinnacle's lean towards the over. Could be a sign that the over is the sharp side here. But again, as I said, Keuchel is a really difficult guy to blow up, and you would need Minnesota to produce here to go over this total. LA Angels at the Houston Astros, Heaney at Urquidy. Heaney is the better arm here by a pretty big margin, I think. Urquidy coming off a nice outing against Toronto. Many sharp guys are liking him, but I'm still not fully on board. What I like about him is the 27% hard contact and then 19% infield pop-up rate. But he has every swing and miss stuff, 82% contact rate overall. And righties are kind of getting to him. He has a 5+ FIP and a 340 wOBA against righties. So he's not like an elite arm yet. It could work out. Angels are not a top offense, but Heaney is really good. 2.7 Sierra, 36% K rate, 15% swinging strike rate, low hard contact, 69% overall contact rate. The Astros have the better offense here, but that's about it. That's why they are slight road favorites, slight home favorites. I think Heaney is kind of balancing out the offensive shortcomings of this Angels team. So yeah, this will be a close game. I make this minus 115. Market is at minus 119, but no value on the Angels yet. And Heaney as a lefty faces a really tough matchup against Houston. Houston is super good against lefties. They don't really strike out. So if you take away the strikeout upside from Heaney, that's really bad. Miami at Arizona, Zach Gallen. This was supposed to be Trevor Rogers, and I was super excited for that game. 7.5 would be an under bet there. That would be probably my strongest bet of the day. But Rogers got pushed back to tomorrow, and this will be a bullpen game for Miami. I think Arizona will be likely overpriced with Gallen going up against a bullpen game. Marlins with just an 87 WRC plus against righties, not a strong offense, 26% K rate, 120 ISO. I'm expecting something like, I don't know, minus 160, 70, even minus 180 here. Depending on who is available for Miami. I haven't really looked at it yet. I'm not interested in this game. To be honest, I think we are likely getting an overpriced Arizona with a fancy name like Gallen on the mound. Dodgers hosting the Mariners, minus 245. Dunn is really another guy you would trust. 5+ Sierra, 15% walk rate. He has an 80% contact rate. No K stuff. Very lucky so far. 81% left on base rate. 190 betting average on balls in play. Another game I'm really interested in. All right, let's break it down. So as I said, not really too much stuff to chew on, but I like Philly a lot. I think they will easily win this game. Minus 130 would be my entry point with Wheeler against Leicester. I think Casey could be a sneaky bet today. They are the far better team. Duffy is amazing. Mize is coming off a nice outing, but he's not that good yet. High upside, but I think he's not fully ready. And Casey lost 9 games in a row. I would need minus 133 or better with the Royals to back them. Oakland, as I said, I will be fading Boston. I think the easy schedule so far really helped them. Erod facing as a lefty facing Oakland is a tough matchup for him. And I'm not high on Oakland, but I think they will do some damage here. And Caprillion looks like an okay arm. So if we get higher than like plus 155 on Oakland, I will be interested in that side. And in the Yankees Rays game, I'm mainly looking at the under if it's 7.5 or higher, but I think it will be like 6.5 or 7. So yeah, that's about it for today. Thanks for tuning in. Pretty short show, but yeah, I really cannot give too many things today as this is a pretty bad slate. Tomorrow looks way better. I will be back at the same time. Please tune in if you can and give this one a like and subscribe. It helps the reach a ton. All right, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Good luck with your wagers. Peace out.